Assalamu alaikum. We are standing here in the midst of Humayun tomb, and I'm going to take you to a tour to some important places at this beautiful Humayun tomb. This tomb was built by the first wife of Emperor Humayun, and her name was Vega Begum. And I'm going to show you the interiors of the tomb. Now, this is what happens to be the tomb of the Emperor Humayun. As you enter here, this beautiful architecture you can see. This tomb was built by Mirza Ghiyasuddin, Merak Mirza Ghiyasuddin. He was from Herat, Afghanistan. The year was 1565 when the construction of this tomb was started and built at the commissioning of the first wife of Humayun. As you can see, I will let the site speak for itself. Have a look at this remnants of the chandelier upstairs. MashaAllah. We first recited the Fatiha, and now we are standing here. Have a look at this. Now, when Humayun died, he was at his palace at the old fort. The old fort was which was his main palace, and he died there. He was buried there. But later on, his body was transferred from the old fort to Sirhind in Punjab. Then, at the request of the first wife of Humayun, whose name is Vega Begum, this tomb was made in the remembrance and her love for Humayun. It took approximately 8 years for this tomb to be built. Along with this tomb, this place is known for the most famous Char Bagh. So there are 4 gardens, and the pattern of what would be the glimpses of the garden of Jannah. This whole place was constructed by 2 main architects. And this is the first of its kind, because the father of Humayun was Babur, who laid the foundations of Mughal Empire in the Indian subcontinent. His grave is in Afghanistan. If you look at the tomb of Babur, it's quite different from Humayun tomb, because this tomb is built in the pattern of Persian architecture. The architect itself was a very well-known famous architect known as Mirza Ghiyasuddin, Merak Mirza Ghiyasuddin. Later on, he died before the completion of the construction. His son Sayyid Muhammad ibn Merak Mirza Ghiyasuddin built this tomb. At that time, you can imagine, in 1565 to 1572 to 73, this tomb was built at the cost of 1.5 million rupees. MashaAllah, 1.5 million rupees, 1565, by the beloved wife of Humayun. Now we stand here, and by the way, even the famous great-grandson of Humayun, Dara Shikoh, the son of Shah Jahan, is also buried over here, along with the wives of Humayun. And this place is beautiful. This place is built along the banks of Yamuna River, and also for the reason that this place is near the proximity of 2 important places, one being the Khanqa of the famous Muslim Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin. His grave is near from this place, it's quite near from here. The Dargah Nizamuddin, as you all know, is very famous, and also the Khanqa of Nizamuddin is also very near from here. Just to let you know, this place also has some later historical importance, and this was much more beautiful as you see now. Now the Aga Khan Trust have really tried to bring back the previous glory in which it was built. Last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, took refuge for a long time at this very Humayun tomb. Around 1857, when the War of Independence took place, he was here along with his sons. Later on, his children were killed, and he was captured here by the Britishers. 1947 is the year when this place became a very well-known refugee camp. But all of these parts and important facets of history do not diminish the glory and beauty of Humayun tomb. Taj Mahal the most famous wonder of the world, one of the four famous wonders of the world, was built on a very similar pattern, because this Humayun tomb became